Hello, I'm Richard Hooper and this is SAT TV News. Now I'm pleased to be joined by Abhay Kumar of Gilat. Abhay, thank you very much for joining us today. Now Gilat has been having amazing success in the cellular backhaul arena and you were recently awarded something by NSR. Can you please elaborate?
Sure. Cellular backhauling is a space that we actually moved in very aggressively into about 3 to 4 years ago, and we together with SoftBank, we actually patented the technology to deliver very strong throughput on the user experience, 150 Mbps user experience on the handset. That success led to many more successes. So we actually signed up many new contracts with T-Mobile in the US, with Sprint in the US, with Everything Everywhere, which eventually became BT. And in Asia, we've also got Globe Telecom in the Philippines, with whom we do cellular backhauling, and with Bharti in India. We expanded more into Japan with cellular backhauling with KDDI, and all of them are now having many hundreds of sites installed, and they use it across the board for backhauling. So it's been a very successful evolution, and it just continues to grow. We end up doing successful POCs, and then the executions have been spot on.
Why have you been so successful in Japan?
I think the Japanese operators tend to look for quality, and they look at people who can deliver what is committed. And so when we say 150 Mbps, we are expected to deliver that performance, and we have to deliver strong levels of support along with it. So that was one. From a technology perspective, we actually built the technology to be able to deliver that success. Secondly, we also partnered locally very strongly with JSAT and others who deliver the bandwidth, and they also do a lot of additional services using our technology. So if you add all these components together, technology plus partnership plus the trust that the operators have gained because of the fact that we've delivered successfully, I think that's contributed to the success in Japan in a big way.
Now everybody's talking about 5G. Gilat's involvement in 5G is well known. Tell me a little bit more how that's progressing.
So 5G is a very interesting topic. Everybody now, this is the latest hype in the world. The standards of 5G have still not been written, but given the fact that we were very strong in 4G and LTE backhauling, we are now extending that through more powerful modems. We are launching new modems later this year, which will deliver higher throughput, and again in 2021 we are going to be delivering a gigabit modem to actually take care of the 5G requirement, because 5G is all about bandwidth, 5G is all about data, 5G is all about lower latency. Now the satellite providers are also doing their bit on that front, trying to, they're planning to come up with LEO and in 2021. That's going to help to a great extent on the 5G space. What we did recently is that we actually connected, together with Telesat, we did a 5G trial. We actually connected to a 5G base station, and we delivered the performance, and we showed that it works with 5G. So, if you talk about 5G ready, we are 5G ready today, because we are able to connect to the base station and deliver the performance that's needed. But as the 5G standards evolve, we are going to actually have to use the newer modems that we are launching, which will deliver the throughput that's needed.
Now, looking at the enterprise market, you're having some success there, particularly with NBN. Why? What is the project?
Look, NBN is a very interesting project. NBN this is the second round that NBN has gone into. The first round they had selected Gilat because of the technology. Now we're going into this is the second phase of deployment that we are doing. They liked our technology, and they also liked the fact that we have a full-fledged operation down under in Australia. We've got a NOC set up. We have a full operations team based out of Australia, which actually provides them with operation support. This is a very big launch for them. This is almost NBN's own satellite being launched, and they're launching new services on that. They're going to be doing it later this year, and we are at this point of time, gearing up to complete the installations and move on towards the launch. So again, it comes back to two aspects: is technology and operations. We have built ourselves a very strong foundation with the technology that we've developed, and with the people that we have for operation.
Now, tell me a little bit more about the emergency response sector, because you're working in there, but how?
In today in most parts of the world, one of the biggest aspects that's coming up is that they get hit with natural disasters. Japan, for example, gets hit with these earthquakes and tsunamis and all of that. A few years ago, when the earthquake hit Japan, their entire cellular network collapsed. The only network that stood was the satellite network that we were running. If you go to the Philippines, they're expecting a big earthquake to hit the Philippines. It's long overdue according to the government. So they have insisted that all operators are prepared for such a disaster. So they actually build emergency response teams. They have they get equipment on they call it cellular on wheels, cows and colts, and they also put a network in a box. So essentially, if an earthquake does hit, they just take the vehicle, the car, drive it to that place and set up connectivity. If you look at what's happening in the U.S., they are preparing. T-Mobile is preparing for emergencies. They also do a lot of cows and colts, and we actually had a very successful trial with them a couple of weeks ago, and we delivered what they wanted. So every country that we're talking about now is preparing for disaster recovery, for making sure that communication links are set up in a short span, so that people are able to talk to each other. And so ERT is becoming a very, very important dimension that everybody is addressing. And we've done it so many times now that it's just we are ready to roll the moment they ask for it. It's an antenna, it's a modem, it's all mounted on a car or a light truck, and it rolls.
Abhay, thank you very much.